Caterpillar reported a first quarter profit of $1.31 a share. That was 9 cents below analyst estimates. Revenues also came in below expectations, down 17% to $13.2 billion. Now, both misses are blamed on a global slump in mining. Caterpillar also slashed its sales and earnings outlook for 2013 because of a big slowdown in new mining projects. The company also said that it would resume a share buyback for the first time in 5 years. When I talked with CEO Doug Oberhelman earlier today, I asked him about the key factors for the revisions in Caterpillar's outlook.
We obviously adjusted our outlook for 2013. We brought the top line down about $5 billion, and that's really done around our mining business, which has slowed significantly and is continuing to slow. But I do feel the mining business could be at or near a floor. So I feel a little better about that. And then we just held our bottom line at about $7 a share.
So, Doug, tell us about the mining business. How long is this slump going to last? Is this just a temporary rough patch?
I do think the mining rough patch is temporary, but the definition of temporary is something I can't define. Something that's very interesting that we are watching closely, our traditional mining truck business here at Caterpillar, the trucks that we've made, the off-highway trucks, the huge 100 to 400 ton trucks that we've built for decades, is off 50% from its peak. With our acquisition of Bucyrus, those products that came into us a couple of years ago are only down about 15%. So thankfully we have that acquisition. There's a lot of mining still going on in the world. It's the big expansion projects that have slowed. So while mining is occurring every day, as it always has, our aftermarket business is doing fairly well. And as we look forward, if the economy continues to grow, which we think it will, construction continues to grow, which we think it will, mining has to follow at some point, and it will. It's just a question of that temporary definition you mentioned.
What about U.S. construction? We hear all the time about how the housing sector is recovering. How much of an improvement are you seeing?
The housing business is recovering. In fact, we're calling for about 1.1 million in starts. That's still way below the peak of a few years ago, but it's almost triple what it was at the bottom in 2009 and 10. And we're seeing that and feeling that from our customers every single day. And it's fairly widespread. I was just in Florida not long ago. Our Miami people were talking about a big boom in condo construction there. I was in Arizona a couple weeks ago, and you can see new subdivisions, albeit small and not the scale that we saw in the peak in the early 2000s. It's coming.
Tell us about China. What are your customers telling you there in terms of business? We're getting so many mixed reports about a slowdown.
I think mixed is probably the way to look at that. We have some pockets that are doing well. Overall, they brought the Chinese authorities have brought the growth rate down, which is very healthy. I was not too excited about a 7.7% growth rate in the first quarter at all. That's still very good growth rate. There's still a lot of things they're trying to correct from the bubble they had there in the last 5 years. But overall, we're optimistic. Our inventories have come down significantly in China. We had a couple of good months in terms of our sales to our contractors and customers. And our second quarter should look a lot better inside China. So just a bit more optimistic on China, at least in our business.
So, Doug, you announced today a stock buyback program. Tell us why, and is there any price level that you're expecting Caterpillar stock to be in, let's say, the next year?
Now that our balance sheet is much stronger than it was, we have quite a bit of cash on our books. And with the price of the stock and the multiples, we thought it was just an opportune time to do it. So we announced that today. About $1 billion will contribute under the plan that's outstanding. And really, it's really around the strength of our balance sheet. Absolutely, we can take it, and we thought it's a good time to do so.
And that stock buyback announcement might be one reason that Caterpillar shares soared today, up almost 3%, as you see there, to $82.71.